uh, very active in it. I became a vice president
Oh,
before
okay.
O level. We had what we call it was an evangelistic wing of the main SU body, and I
Okay.
became the vice president to one brother who was the president, Victor Forigwedu. Yes, I became the
Okay.
vice president, and that is it. When I stand there and I'm sharing
Mm,
the word, usually I pick from what I hear on Sunday, and then when
okay.
we go when we go for meetings, I'll stand there and it's just be flowing, and the people will be, they'll be clapping and telling me they were blessed and all that.
Mm,
So it started that way, and I continued in it. When in church, I was part of the choir, I
mm.
was part of the prayer group, I was part of the evangelism group. I always tell people, in a very funny way, that the only group I didn't join was women's ministry. I was in everything. And so
Wow.
I would say that I wasn't the kind that really, like hear other people's story. They were really in the world. I
Mm,
I got to know the Lord a little bit earlier in my life, and I think that God knows the reason why He picked me early, because the way I could dance and the way we
mm,
love party from that age,
mm,
I'm
mm.
sure God had not gotten me at
Intervene.
that age,
Mm.
intervene. It would have been very serious, and I would
Wow.
have something, catastrophic would have happened to my
Could have
life, and
happened.
I would have lost my life. So
Wow.
from Accra Academy went to now it used to be UST, nice KNUST.
University.
But
That's right.
I studied there, and sometimes we ask ourselves, we find colleagues that are also seriously on fire, and
Mm.
you ask yourself whether you came for a seminary or you came for university, because we'll be on meetings around Kumasi, the areas of
Wow.
there, and yeah, preaching the gospel almost everywhere. But God
Mm.
was very good, and I passed very well. I did so well. But when I came home from Kumasi back to Accra as a new graduate, and I worked with Tala Fatah, the Metro TV.
Mm.
I started the Metro TV years back with the late Tala Fatah, and some few guys, and were there. I was there when Oadumotri. Now
Oh
he's
wow.
very seasoned. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I went to meet some of them there.
Oh wow. That's beautiful then.
Yeah, yeah. So it was in Metro TV one day. I was just behind my desk, and I
Mm.
was working when the Spirit of the Lord just whispered and said, "Do you want to spend your life here, or you want
Jesus.
to give your life to me to turn it around?"
Mm.
And that day,
Wow.
yeah, that day, I just picked my bag. The presence of God
Mm.
and the awesomeness of what I heard was so
Mm.
deep. Just picked my bag
Mm.
and I left. It was time for lunch. I left and I didn't come back. I followed
Wow.
my spiritual father. Yeah. Then he had been moved to a place called Matichu, which is
Mm.
around Spring Test area. Yeah. So he had a new church there where it was very tough. We're struggling. And he was waiting on the Lord at East
Mm.
Legon, the house at
Mm.
East Legon. And I came. I told him, I'm not going back.
Wow.
Okay, great. I'm not going back. It is
Wow.
too strong on me, because he had told me several times. He has prophesied several times to me. Now, before I go on, there was a time that I sensed the call so strong that
Mm.
action is closer to where our church was, and that time in the 90s, action was now was being built. The building was being raised now, and I went there for a program, and then Archbishop was preaching. Archbishop
Mm.
was Duncan Williams. He's
That's right.
eminent.
That's right.
He was preaching, and after the message, I went to see him, and I said, I sensed the call of God so strong on my life, and I just needed counseling. You know,
Mm.
at that time, he was driving some beautiful green Benz, and he
Mm.
stood by the Benz, and he just pointed to me and said, "Young man, you got to finish the school." You know, but if
Wow.
I've not heard that word, I think I wouldn't have graduated. Yeah, and
Mm.
I started that way. Went to Bible school at Sopon with the Assemblies of God. went to Bible school. I finished in 2002. I graduated from Tech in 98. And
Wow.
I'm married in 99. We look young, but we've been there,
You've
yeah,
been around.
been
You've
around
stepped
for a
your
while.
foot on
Yeah.
Pajo for far too long.
Oh, far too long. Charging the whole school. It's as if
My goodness.
uh, we charge the whole
Wow.
school when we get to Pajo. And
Wow.
yeah, I went to Sopon Bible School,
Hmm.
Southern Ghana, met wonderful, wonderful lecturers and professors, Dr. Chekun and Dr. Anane Asane. These are men who really inculcated in us,
Wow.
the
Wow.
doctrines of the word. And from
Wow.
there, I served under my senior pastor as a senior associate for
Hmm.
over 7 years. Now,
Wow.
in between the time I got married to 2008, that's when
Hmm.
I came to US. It was my wife whose father was here, and I
Hmm.
really want to thank God for the instrumentality of
Wow.
father-in-law who
Hmm.
was here, and my wife joined when after we married. So I was married but single for almost 7 years, waiting
Mercy.
for my documents to join. And I was so
Wow.
very active in ministry, preaching everywhere in Accra, Hohoi,
Wow.
everywhere my spiritual father would send me. I would be there preaching, Dodoa, everywhere. I was just,
Hmm.
single, married but single, just go, just pick your stuff and you're gone. Oh,
Wow.
beautiful, beautiful. So that's my wife, Joyce. Thank you so much. She's been very, very
Wow.
instrumental in my
Wow.
ministry. Yeah. So let
Hmm.
me start from how I got here, and then I think I'll sum it up quickly. There are some key things I've left out, but for the purpose
Yeah,
of
we'll get there because I realized,
okay.
I realized that if I should take a summary of what you said,
Yes,
right from birth, I realized that there are so many things we can talk about. So this is
that's
good you've given us an overview
right.
that will even open up for more discussion.
Sure.
At the age of 13, you
Yes.
know, at the age of 13, the dream that you had, that encounter,
Mm.
and that it said everything about you changed, which was very, 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 powerful.
Yeah.
Now the question is, what may ask at that tender age of 13,
Mm.
did you really know what you were about? Were you born again? Did you understand the things of the spirit? Because somebody may ask, 13,
Yeah.
you're now entering into your teens,
Yeah.
then, the dancer. What has spiritual things got to do with you having a dream and say something has changed? Tell
Yeah.
us from that point. Were you born again? How did it all happen?
Mhm. I think that God, in His own ultimate wisdom, in His
Mm,
sovereignty,
mm,
um, everybody's path is quite different. The
that's
way
right.
God uses us is marvelous.
That's right.
So He revealed Himself to me at the
Wow.
age of 13, and then
Mm,
the conscience became very
mm,
much alive. And
okay.
then your heart will keep had this sensation, the burning sensation in my.
Mm,
Then from there, the church was closer, and
okay.
then the lady that came into my life, the woman that came into my life, the Sunday school teacher, let me put it that way,
Okay. Okay.
started guiding me. So took me to Sunday school. I started understanding, the gospel, and
Okay.
then I gave my life to Jesus.
Okay. Okay.
I did that. I gave my life. I think I was giving my life to Jesus almost every Sunday. You know,
Why?
anytime anytime any preacher preaches and says who wants to give his life to Jesus, because the love of God started consuming
Mm,
me. And
mm,
then the vision or the dream I had was the
okay.
guiding steps for me. It was like Jesus could come anytime. It was like
Mm,
judgment could be anytime. And
okay.
at that time, God used that
Mm,
to really be an instrument to guide my steps on the
okay.
right path. It